welcome to the deep dive. We've gotten a ton of requests to cover this one, so today we're diving into the world of emotional intelligence.
Or EI for short.
Exactly, EI. Now we've got a whole stack of research papers,
Academic studies.
opinion pieces, you name it. We're going to sift through it all.
Find those golden nuggets
Yeah, those key takeaways that you can actually use,
in your everyday life.
whether it's at school, work, or even just in your personal life. You ready to jump in?
Absolutely, let's do it.
Okay, so first things first. What exactly is emotional intelligence?
Well, there are a lot of definitions floating around out there.
Right.
But the one that keeps popping up is the ability to understand and manage emotions.
Not just your own emotion.
No, not just your own, but the emotions of others too.
Huh, it's interesting.
It's like this secret sauce that helps you navigate all those tricky social situations.
Those awkward moments.
Exactly. And what's fascinating is that for a long time, we were so focused on IQ.
Book smarts.
Exactly. But now we're realizing that there's this other kind of intelligence.
EI.
Yeah, that's just as important, if not more so, for success in life.
And we even have a paper here.
It's titled Analysis of Importance of Emotional Quotient in Education,
And it actually studied EI levels in first-year college students in Malaysia.
which is interesting because traditionally, the Malaysian education system has really emphasized academic achievement.
Yeah, kind of like a lot of other education systems around the world, right?
Exactly. But this study highlights how EI is starting to gain traction, even in those more traditional settings.
Okay, so we know that EI matters, but what does it actually look like in practice?
Well, most of the research points to this four-branch model of EI.
4 branches.
Yeah, it was developed by these guys, Mayer, Salovi, and Caruso.
Catchy names.
And they basically broke down EI into 4 interconnected abilities.
Hit me with them.
Okay, so the first one is perceiving emotions.
Like being able to read someone's face.
Exactly. Or their body language, or even their tone of voice.
So it's about being aware of those subtle emotional cues.
Exactly. And then we move on to facilitating thought using emotions.
Facilitating thought, what does that even mean?
So it's about recognizing that emotions aren't just these random things that happen to us.
Yeah.
They actually give us valuable information that can help us think.
You mean like they can influence our decisions.
Precisely. And even boost our creativity.
So instead of letting our emotions control us, we can learn to use them to our advantage.
Exactly. Now, the third branch is understanding emotions.
Understanding.
Yeah, this is about going deeper. Why am I feeling this way?
Ooh, getting philosophical.
Right. What are the consequences of this emotion?
Yeah,
It's about understanding the why behind the what.
I like that. The why behind the what.
And finally, we get to the top of our emotional intelligence staircase.
This is the big one, right?
It is. This is managing emotions.
Managing those feelings.
And this one is often the most challenging because it's about regulating emotions effectively in ourselves.
Keeping those emotions in check.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But also helping others manage their emotions.
So it's not just about being in control of our own emotional roller coaster.
No, it's about helping others navigate theirs too.
And why should all of this matter to our listeners?
Because think about it. Understanding these 4 components of EI,
Perceiving, facilitating, understanding, and managing.
they can have a huge impact on your personal life.
Relationships,
Exactly. And your professional life.
work performance, leadership,
It's like having the secret weapon that can help you build stronger relationships.
make better decisions.
Yeah, and even bounce back from setbacks more quickly.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all fits together.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
There's more.
Oh yeah, there's so much more to explore.
Well, I can't wait to dive deeper.
Let's do it.
But first, a quick break. Okay, so we've laid the groundwork for understanding emotional intelligence. Now let's dive into the nitty-gritty of how EI actually plays out in different areas of our lives.
And I think a good place to start is with academic performance. One of the papers, Analysis of Importance of Emotional Quotient in Education, really delves into this connection.
Yeah, this one was fascinating. They actually looked at how EI impacts students' learning, stress levels, and even their behavior in the classroom.
Exactly. And what they found was that students with higher EI were actually better able to handle the pressure cooker of school and college life.
Makes sense. If you can manage your stress, stay motivated, and build positive relationships with your teachers and classmates, you're setting yourself up for success, right?
Absolutely. It's not just about hitting the books. It's about having the emotional intelligence to navigate those social and emotional challenges that come with being a student.
So EI isn't just some fluffy, feel-good concept. It actually has a real impact on academic achievement.
And it doesn't stop there. Research has also shown a strong link between EI and career success, particularly in leadership roles.
So if you're thinking about climbing that corporate ladder, EI might be your secret weapon.
Think about the most effective leaders you've encountered. Chances are they had high EI. They were probably great at motivating their teams, resolving conflicts, and creating a positive work environment.
It's like EI gives them that extra edge, that ability to connect with people on a deeper level and inspire them to do their best work.
And we've got some really interesting studies that back this up. One of them focused on financial advisors who went through EI training.
Yeah, this one really caught my eye. Not only did these advisors report feeling less stressed and more positive at work, but they also saw a significant jump in their revenue.
It's like their emotional intelligence was translating into tangible results, impacting their bottom line.
And another source even mentions studies linking higher EI to better performance in roles like project managers and account officers.
It seems that no matter what field you're in, having strong EI can give you a competitive advantage.
Okay, so we've seen how EI can help us excel in school and at work, but what about our overall well-being?
There's definitely a connection there.
I'm curious to explore that.
Well, we have this great article here, the link between emotional competence and well-being, that delves into this in detail.
Let's hear it. What does the article say about the link between EI and well-being?
Well, one of the things that stood out to me was the discussion of rumination.
Rumination. Remind me what that is again.
You know, that tendency to dwell on negative thoughts and emotions. You get stuck in that loop of what ifs and should haves.
Ugh. Yeah, I know that feeling. It's like my brain just won't let go of those negative thoughts.
Exactly. And research suggests that rumination is linked to lower levels of emotional intelligence.
So if we're constantly consumed by those negative thoughts, it's going to be a lot harder to manage our emotions effectively.
And to build healthy relationships.
So it's not just about understanding our emotions, it's about learning to process those emotions in a healthy way.
Precisely. And the good news is that emotional intelligence can be developed. It's like a muscle that gets stronger with practice.
That's a relief to hear. It means we're not stuck with whatever level of EI we have right now. We can actually take steps to improve it.
And the research shows that the benefits are significant. Higher EI is linked to greater resilience, better coping mechanisms, and a more positive outlook on life.
So it's not just about managing our emotions in the moment. It's about building those emotional skills that will help us navigate the inevitable ups and downs of life.
Absolutely. Now, another fascinating study that we came across focused on a group of women who had been forced to migrate from their homes in Kashmir due to conflict and political unrest.
Wow, that must have been incredibly traumatic for them to be uprooted from their homes, their communities, everything they knew. I can only imagine the emotional toll that must have taken.
Exactly. These women faced immense loss and upheaval. But what's amazing is that the study found a significant link between their level of EI and their ability to adapt to their new environment.
So even in the face of such hardship, their EI was helping them cope and rebuild their lives?
The women with higher levels of EI were better able to regulate their emotions, form new connections, and adjust to a new culture. It's like their emotional intelligence gave them the strength and resilience to keep going.
That's incredibly inspiring. It really speaks to the power of EI to help us not just survive, but thrive, even in the most challenging circumstances.
It's a reminder that no matter what life throws our way, we have the inner resources to adapt, grow, and find our way forward.
Okay, so we've seen how EI can help us in school, at work, and even in navigating major life transitions. But one of our sources, Emotional Quotient, The Taming of the Alien, raised an interesting question about the potential for EI to be used for less than noble purposes.
Yes. The dark side of emotional intelligence.
Exactly. The book talked about how someone could use their understanding of emotions to manipulate others for personal gain.
It's a valid concern. It's like any powerful tool. EI can be used for good or for bad, depending on the intentions of the person wielding it.
So it's not just about developing our EI, it's about making sure that we're using it ethically and responsibly.
It's about using our emotional intelligence to build a better world, not to exploit or take advantage of others.
And now with that in mind, let's shift gears and talk about leadership. One of our sources highlighted the connection between EI and effective leadership.
And it's a strong connection.
What exactly makes an emotionally intelligent leader stand out? What qualities do they possess?
Well, one of the most important qualities is self-awareness. They have a deep understanding of their own strengths and weaknesses, their values and motivations, and how their emotions impact the people around them.
So it's not just about being aware of others' emotions. It's about having that deep self-knowledge, that understanding of how you operate in the world.
Exactly. And another key quality is empathy. Emotionally intelligent leaders can put themselves in other people's shoes. They can see things from another person's perspective and respond with compassion and understanding.
It's like they have this ability to connect with people on that human level, to really understand where they're coming from.
And because of that, they're able to build stronger relationships, inspire collaboration, and create a more positive and supportive work environment.
It makes sense. If you feel like your leader gets you, you're more likely to be motivated and engaged.
Absolutely. And emotionally intelligent leaders are also skilled in managing conflict effectively. They don't shy away from tough conversations. They can stay calm under pressure and help others do the same.
So they don't let those conflicts spiral out of control. They can actually use them as opportunities for growth and learning.
Exactly. And they're also great at motivating and inspiring their teams. They can articulate a clear vision, connect with people on an emotional level, and create that sense of shared purpose that really drives people forward.
It sounds like emotional intelligence is the key ingredient that transforms a good leader into a great leader.
And these qualities aren't just limited to the workplace. They're essential for effective parenting, teaching, coaching, mentoring, any role where you're guiding and influencing others.
So EI really has far-reaching implications.
Now, I know we've talked a lot about the impact of EI on our professional lives.
But we can't forget about our personal relationships.
Right, they're just as important.
And one of our sources, Emotional Quotient, The Taming of the Alien, really delves into the connection between EI and healthy relationships.
Yeah, it's a great resource. It highlights the importance of EI in all types of relationships, romantic partnerships, friendships, family dynamics.
So it's not just about finding the right person, it's about having the emotional skills to build a strong and lasting relationship with that person.
Exactly. And the book emphasizes several key EI skills that are particularly crucial for nurturing those fulfilling relationships.
I'm all ears. Tell me more.
But one of the most important skills is emotional awareness.
Okay, remind me what that one is about again.
So it's about being attuned to your own emotions,
Right.
recognizing what you're feeling and why.
Right.
But it's also about being sensitive to the emotions of your partner.
So being able to read those subtle cues,
Exactly. Those shifts in their mood, those unspoken feelings.
like learning to speak each other's emotional language.
Precisely. And once you have that awareness, the next key skill is effective communication.
Communication, the cornerstone of any healthy relationship.
It's about being able to express your feelings honestly and openly.
But also in a way that respects your partner's feelings.
Right. It's about finding that balance between being authentic and being considerate.
And it's not just about expressing yourself, it's about listening too.
Absolutely. Active listening is crucial. Can you really hear what your partner is saying, understand their point of view?
And respond in a way that makes them feel heard and validated.
Now, another important skill the book highlights is conflict resolution.
Yes.
Yeah.
The inevitable conflicts that arise in any relationship.
Exactly.
And it's how we handle those conflicts that can make or break the relationship.
Well, emotionally intelligent couples are better at navigating those conflicts constructively.
So instead of avoiding those tough conversations or letting things escalate into huge blowouts,
They can stay calm.
regulate their own emotions.
Exactly. And work together to find a solution that works for both partners.
So those conflicts can actually become opportunities for growth and deeper understanding.
And even when things get heated, they can repair the damage quickly and effectively.
Because, let's face it, we all make mistakes in relationships. We say things we regret.
We hurt the people we care about.
But it's how we handle those mistakes that matters.
Right. Being able to apologize sincerely and make amends is essential for building trust and intimacy.
Okay, so emotional awareness, effective communication, conflict resolution, these are all key ingredients for building healthy and fulfilling relationships.
And I think they're skills that we can all benefit from developing.
Now, before we wrap up, there's one more concept I wanted to touch on, and it's the connection between emotional intelligence and spiritual intelligence.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, this came up in a few of our sources.
And there seems to be a growing body of research exploring this link.
Okay, but first, can you remind me what spiritual intelligence is exactly?
It's a bit of a slippery concept, but I think one common thread is this capacity for transcendence.
Transcendent.
It's about seeking meaning and purpose beyond the material world.
So it's about connecting with something larger than ourselves.
Exactly. Whether that's a sense of spirituality, a connection to nature, a feeling of belonging to something bigger than just our individual lives.
It's like that sense of awe and wonder